Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today's all about the eco side of the Black & Decker power tools. So are the Black & Decker power tools worth the money? Now, it depends, and typically I like to give a straight answer right away when it comes to these things, but this one's a little bit tricky. So I'm going to have to go through each one of the different systems. Now, I don't have every single tool that comes in the Black & Decker system that touts to be able to use one single battery and interchangeably use it, right, for all your different tools. So I don't have them all, but I'm thinking my goal is, I think I'm pretty committed to it, and I like the idea that they do have longevity. So I've had the chainsaw for, I want to say, 3 years already, and I've only had to do minor maintenance with it. You do have to, every once in a while, if it comes loose, you do have to adjust it, and it can be a little tricky and a little scary because if you ever dealt with, like, chainsaws, you have to be careful, right? You can slice your fingers right off. The longevity is there. And I've had the other tools, the actual hedge trimmer, I've had the same amount of time. I think it's going on 3 years, and never had an issue with it. And the other tools, I'm going on just several months, and I'll break down each one of them.
All right, so first up is the tree trimmer, and here we go. So I used the GoPro to give us a better perspective about what's happening here with the tools. But I get on top of the ladder, and here we go. Chop, 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 chop. And as you can see, it is an easy job. So before I had this, I don't know what the hell I was doing. Or I would hire someone, and it's always the same cost. I don't know how much you all pay where you live, but anytime that you ask for a tree trimming, it's like $100. It's always $100, and it could be a small job or a big job, and the bigger the job, it's maybe $200. All right, next up is the hedger. Now the hedger is one of my favorite because once again I used to use like the giant trimming scissors, landscaping shears, whatever you want to call them. So once I finally got this, and it changed my world. Especially look at my backyard. Look at how much work I have to do. That wall back there does not cut itself, and it's a wall vine, so it takes quite a bit of time. And sorry if I'm making you dizzy from this, but oh well. So you can see it's extremely working well. It's still the same battery as the tree trimming. And maybe one day I'll tackle the palm tree. I haven't tackled it in a while. I'm not gonna start today. All right, next up is the weed eater or the trimmer. So same battery, and now this thing I decide I'm just not gonna use it. It feels like it's useless, and people, it protects you. And another thing is the wire. I use a different wire. I don't use what goes in the traditional Black & Decker trimmer. It's too thin of plastic, and it becomes so wasteful. Even though it's like designed to automatically, give you a new line, I feel it's completely useless and very uneco-friendly. So I decide I'm going to use a heavy-duty cable instead, and it fits just fine. And instead of buying the plastic replacement every single time, I simply use the wire, and I replace the wire. And last up is the most satisfying, I think, is the leaf blower. And yes, on the same battery. Now I do have two batteries, but I really wanted to show what it's like just to work with a single battery. And as you can see, it's working great. That's my neighbor's stuff, so I blow shit into there. Now that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Don't be an asshole and blow, your clippings into your own grass, and your grass will thank you for it. Most people that are with leaf blowers, they typically just blow everything to the street. So there it is. So let me talk about the benefit of using electric lawn tools. So the idea is that you have your gas powered lawn tools and you're thinking, well, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm able to use very little gasoline and I'm able to power all my tools and I have real power and I feel real macho when I'm out there and doing all my tools and my lawn looks great. But at what cost? And you're thinking once again, well, it's just real little. But then multiply that by every person in your neighborhood doing the same thing, and then everyone in the state, and then everyone in the country, and so on and so forth. Then you see how it turns out a little thing quickly snowballs into something much greater. So the idea of using electric lawn tools and it really changes the game. Now they are not as powerful, as I had mentioned earlier. They're not as powerful, and they are not for starting your own business or anything like that. They are just a great addition to the overall tech that you have at home, and really adds that eco side or that sustainability side that maybe you're aiming to have in your lifestyle. So consider also like the breathing hazards that you have when you're using gas powered tools. You're breathing all those fumes in, and it might not seem like a big deal, but over time, and especially if you spend all day doing it, even if it's once a week, that's pretty heavy breathing on top of all the dust that you're breathing. It's not a good thing for anybody.
Alright guys, that's going to do it for this one, and until next time, ask that question: is this good for the earth?